Well, hello, everyone, and hello again to most of you that were just here 3 minutes ago. Just a minute or so for me to get here.
Hey, Jeff, in response to your email about SOC, I sent you the update today. For
Yeah,
some
I got
reason,
that.
the city removed you from my email train. But yeah, they're supposed to start before the end of October over there. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, the guy I met there told me even in September. So we'll see. What Joe's talking about, I happened to be walking over the Sauk Park site, and there were a couple of people, a man and a woman, out there collecting rocks. And so we went over and asked them what they were doing, and they said, "We're collecting rocks." Why are you doing that? Well, because the contractor, which is us, as the first step, have to go through and screen all of these rocks out of here. So I thought we would come over here and collect some rocks for landscaping while they were available. So that's what we were doing.
I thought maybe they were working from Vulcan and trying to get some more supplies.
If anyone wants rocks, there are lots of them over there. So
Joe, we sell them too. So if you need some, let me know.
Yeah, I hope to see you at the street fair with a bunch of them.
Well, there's a funny story that we were collecting rocks that was going around all the storefront. So John Sunday, I had a good friends coming here from Pennsylvania, so we had him go over there and say, "I hear you've been stealing rocks from us, and we're from Pardee Construction." And John Sunday never turned us in. Nope, mum's the word. So it's funny because we're all watching this happen, and he's like, "You sure? I mean, you've been stealing rocks from Pardee Construction over here in Toronto." No. Anyways, it was so funny to watch because yes, we had been stealing their rocks. So, yes. And Mike, I've never stolen any years. So
okay, well, we'll get started. This is the September meeting of the Mira Mesa Community Planning Group. Kent Lee has kindly agreed to take minutes tonight since Tiffany is out of town. So we will.
why has he got his Magic Mountain hat on?
A little more casual today.
Yes.
Figured it would be appropriate.
So where are the little girls?
I am not at home yet at the moment. And so
Oh, okay.
it'll make it easier. It'll make it easier for me to Focus on
quieter.
taking minutes and participating all at the same time.
They're always entertaining.
Good choice of word.
All right, we'll go on to the agenda. Oh,
Jeff, do you want me to take attendance
we'll do that when we do
or call the roll?
the minutes.
Okay.
We'll do that at the same time. So we'll start with
Yeah.
non-agenda public comment. Is there anyone here with non-agenda public comment tonight? Joe?
Yeah, I have one. I met with some people from the city today about the Mira Mesa Tree Fund.
Mhm.
And the problem with the tree fund is that the language that was written in 1991, when they took the trees off Mira Mesa Boulevard, it specifically stated that they had to place the trees on the site over by Hage or Hage Park. So I'm currently trying to get the city to change that so that we can put the trees anywhere in any park in Mira Mesa. And, I don't expect this to happen overnight, but I told them that this is the third or fourth time in the last 20 years we've approached this, and we are not going to let this go. We're going to make sure that we get that money and put trees in our parks. So it's up to them to keep our community away from their office and get this done so that we don't have to bug them any more than we already have. So hopefully we'll get some work done on that. And by the end of the year, who knows, maybe the city council will change their wording and let us have our tree money back.
Thanks, Joe. Becky Rapp? Go ahead. Becky Rapp?
Yes, good evening, Chair Stevens and planning group members. My name is Becky Rapp. I am a San Diego resident and planning group attendee. I come tonight to speak regarding the vote taken by San Diego City Council this past Tuesday regarding the amendments to the municipal code regarding standard operating procedures and responsibilities of community planning groups. These municipal code changes will greatly impact each and every community in our city, and I feel limiting the voices of those who live, serve, and support their communities. The decision to require planning groups to pay $1,000 for any appeal filed seems unconscionable. As you well know, planning group members are not paid, yet serve their communities in the best of their abilities and rely on the city to implement and consider their good judgment. And the $500 stipend only covers half of one project appeal. It's unfortunate that the city would not consider voting on the amendments and policy changes individually. I feel bundling all these changes into
Hi,
one sweeping
David.
decision was not fair or
I
equitable.
cannot talk.
I appreciate Councilmember Campillo for recognizing that it was a bad idea to take away the ability of planning groups to appeal a project for free. The city council is meeting tomorrow morning, and I feel it's a great opportunity to speak out regarding these changes, specifically stating how these changes will negatively impact your community and possibly reconsider prior to the second reading. So thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, Becky. Lee Tran?
Yeah, good morning, the members of Community Planning Group. My name is Hailey, and I work for Community Action Service and Advocacy as a Community Engagement Coordinator. And I'm working on a smoke-free multi-unit housing policy because we all know that smoking is very harmful, not only for smokers, but also people who are exposed to secondhand and third-hand smoke. And there are about 60 municipalities in California have passed the smoke-free policies at multi-unit housing. And that's why CASA and also social advocates for youth, say San Diego, we are organizing a town hall on smoke-free multi-family housing policy on September 21st from 10 to noon. And I want to invite members of the community planning groups and also other residents as well who are interested in policy to attend the town hall to understand more about the risk of secondhand and thirdhand smoke, and also the importance of smoke-free policies in city of San Diego. So I will drop the flyer of the event in the chat, and if anyone have any questions or interested in attending the event, you are invited and welcome to the town hall. So thank you very much for letting me speak at the planning group meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll go on to modifications to the agenda. It's not exactly a modification, but I haven't heard from Monica Gildo Santos. She was supposed to talk about street sweeping changes. Since I haven't heard from her, I'm guessing she's not going to be here, so we'll probably not have that one at this meeting. Going on to adopting the meeting minutes. Were there any changes to the minutes? If not, then I'll have Kent call the roll, and we'll use that to get our roll written down, as well as approving the minutes.
Okay, so just make sure I'm off mute. I'll start with myself. I am present and approve the minutes. Andrew?
Approve.
Lilith?
Approve.
Ian Kerman?
I abstained since I wasn't at the last meeting.
Okay. Hang on, just make sure I get that correct. Craig?
I abstain. I was not present at the last meeting.
Okay. Ralph?
Don't see Ralph here.
Okay. John Labaugh?
I don't see John here.
Joe Frickel?
Approve.
Barry?
Approve.
Jeff?
Approve.
Dorothy? Dorothy, do you approve of the minutes? You may be on mute.
Oh, it looks like she's on mute.
Approve.
Thanks, Dorothy. Keith?
Approve.
Philip?
Approve.
Julia?
Approve.
Harkishan?
Approve.
Tiffany's not present today. Marvin?
Yes, approve.
Justin?
Approve.
And Mike?
Approved.
Got it. That, oh, it doesn't calculate. Hang on one second. I believe that's 15 approving, 2 abstaining, 3 not present.
right.
We also do have quorum.
Thank you, Kent.
I have a minute. Julia, when she voted, came up as Lilith, so I don't understand how that happened.
We're having problems with our Serena Valley Town Council email, so she thinks that the Evite got sent from Jeff to our email address. So she texted me, and so I just forwarded her mine before I could, because we only had 4 minutes. So there's 2 me's.
Oh, okay. All right. Report of the chair. I did have some mail. I haven't made a complete list of it. I'll just mention a couple things, and I'll mention some of those. First, there was a NORA for the Mira Mesa Street Fair. Mira Mesa Street Fair is coming up on October 1st from 10 to 5 on Camino Ruiz. I highly recommend everybody go to it. Then there were site development plans for project 106-8155, which is on Lusk Boulevard. That was generated a certain amount of controversy because it's a big project with 2 10-story parking lots and 4 7 to 11-story buildings that is being built right next to Water Ridge, and I've heard from some of the Water Ridge residents who are not happy about that. So we'll be hearing that one sometime in the future. And then I also got a list of all the slurry seals that'll be done. So if anyone wants to see that, let me know and I'll send it out. Okay, we'll go on to old business, community plan update. Alex?
Thanks, Jeff. Hello, everyone. Alex Frost, project manager for the Mira Mesa Community Plan Update, senior planner with the planning department. Today at the Mira Mesa Community Plan Update Advisory Committee meeting, we discussed a high-level overview of the draft community plan and draft program environmental impact report and in-depth school analysis. Draft community plan and program EIR was released on September 6th, and we are now at a public comment period, 45 days. So if you have any comments related to the draft community plan or the program EIR, please go to the project website, planmiramesa.org, and send a written comment to the planning department. Thank you.
Okay, so the community plan update is going to be an action item at the October planning group meeting. So we need to get our thoughts together and formulate a recommendation. My impression from my previous interactions with the City Council and Planning Commission is they'll approve this no matter what we say. But I think getting together a series of recommendations that list both issues with it and in particular things that need to be done to improve the infrastructure before we, if this is adopted, could be very important to do. So I want to get together a good set of recommendations. Now, I thought I had sent some recommendations as kind of a starting point to the planning group this afternoon, but I ran into a OneDrive problem. So what happens with OneDrive sometimes, it's very useful because you write something on one computer and then you go to another computer and you can continue with the same document. But if you do that too fast, you can inadvertently erase everything that you worked on in the other document. So that's what happened. So I had a good 2-page document that disappeared. Fortunately, I printed it. So just within the last 15 minutes or so, toward the end of the other meeting, I scanned that and sent it out to planning group members. So that'll be hopefully a starting point for recommendations for us. But I need to know who would like to work with me to put together the recommendations that we can send out, that we can formalize next month.
I will, Jeff. This is Lil.
Got Lil and Craig.
Barry.
This is Ian.
Julia?
I'd be interested.
I'll tell you what, why don't you hold up your hands if you're interested? That way I can get you. I meant press the little hand button on your screen.
And Jeff, just read out the names when you do so I can.
Since
input them
I'm
in the
under
minute.
Lil, could Julia please get one?
Is it the real Lil or Julia that wants to be on it, or both?
Both.
Both.
Okay. Okay, I have Lil, Craig, Barry, Joe, Ian, and Julia. Did I miss anybody?
Is it okay for me to be
No.
on it too?
Yeah, we can have
Non-board members?
board members on it.
Is this for the subcommittee?
Yeah, so this is a new subcommittee, and we've had the subcommittee that's been working with Alex all this time. This one is specifically to put together words for a recommendation that we can approve at our next meeting. All right, thank
I
you.
can join as well.
Excuse me?
I can join as well, Philip Linson.
Good. Okay, so I appreciate if people would look at what I sent out, and you can send me some thoughts back, and then I'll hold a meeting here. It may be after October 1st, since I'm chair of the Mira Mesa Street Fair, so that's occupying a lot of my time, but by then, if not before. Joe, you had something? Or just
Yeah, I just want to encourage everybody, whether they're in favor or not in favor of the community plan, to send in comments by the 14th of October so that they are recorded, even though we've made comments in the past. If we consider these things important, we need to resend them to Alex or whatever so that they are included. Whether they use them or not, we still need to get this input in there.
And oh, Jeff, I'll join the subcommittee if it's meeting after October 1.
Okay.
And Alex, I know you mentioned the website that we can go to add comments. Can you put that in the chat?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other comments anyone wants to make tonight, or shall we leave this to the subcommittee?
Yeah, I have a question, Jeff. What efforts are being done to educate the public in Mira Mesa and Serrano Valley about this proposed plan? Because I haven't heard, other than this organization coming forward with this information. So what efforts is being to educate the public about this?
You want to answer that, Alex?
Andrew, it's been a 4-year process. I know we did some heavy outreach in the phase 1 and 2, and COVID happened. So we went virtual. I did get a request from Mira Mesa Town Council to do a community forum. Unfortunately, the upper management determined we didn't have the staff capacity right now to be able to organize like an open house or a forum within the next 4 weeks. So I did offer to do like a long presentation at the Mira Mesa Town Council, similar to the presentation I gave at the Planning Commission workshop in July. So it's more of the comprehensive, what is the community plan and what's in it? What does it do? What does it do? So that's possible. I haven't gotten confirmation on that. So that's one approach. There's been a lot of media outreach from local news stations and Union Tribune. So there was a lot of information going out that way. The Mira Mesa Street Fair, I wish I could be there. I wanted to set up a booth, but I'm out of town that weekend. I need to go see my parents. So unfortunately, that would have been the perfect opportunity, but I had these flights booked like 8 months ago. So
I will have a printout of the community plan there.
Great, thank you, Jeff. Jeff can help with outreach and
I've been trying. I posted multiple times on Facebook and Nextdoor to get people to the documents.
Yeah.
To tell them what's happening.
Yeah.
It's hard to get people's attention though. It's surprising. You'll get bursts of attention that I post something to Mira Mesa neighbors and there'll be like 50 comments on it. So I mean it does attract some attention, but then you'll find other people who had never heard about it. So
yeah, and there always will be. And I think we posted this community discussion draft on Nextdoor information. I mean, we got some engagement, a couple of emails, but yeah, it is really hard to hold people's attention and have folks read things nowadays, right? So that's part of it.
And Jeff and Alex, I'm here. Alex, as I indicated to you, the town council agenda for the October meeting has been booked up for months. However, I am going to meet with our board and we will have an open forum at some point before the October meeting, because I know we've had, you indicated earlier, 31 community plan update meetings. Those are very fixed agendas, though. A lot of people have questions and are looking for a forum where they can just ask questions about things that concern them. There's a lot of information going around that is not exactly correct. And they don't have anyone to talk to. So we're going to try to give them that opportunity.
That sounds great.
So Alex, I know that you said you're going to be out of town, but is there no one else from your group or from the department that's able to sort of man the booth at the street fair? Because this seems like a pretty important activity, a place to get this information out. And it just seems like something that would be a priority for the city at this point.
Yeah, all day Saturday outreach. It's a tough ask. And I do the junior planner that works with me, Selena, I mean, could in theory be there, but it's really hard. She just started with the city and she's my backup, and she will not be able to answer, all kinds of questions, right? It's because you'll get, hundreds of different types of questions. So it would be hard to put some of the planners in that position. Also, we have staffing issue at the planning department as usual, and there's so many initiatives ongoing this month. So, I mean, I'll ask my supervisor if there's a possibility there. Also, is the registration closed already? I know the early registration was.
It is, but I can give you a chair in the town council booth.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll ask.
Actually, that's not quite true. We do still have a few spaces left, so you could get a booth if you want, but I would also invite you to join us in the town council booth.
Yeah. Well, so I'm out of town. I've got a flight on that day, so I will not be able to attend. But yeah, again, I'll ask the upper management. Maybe we can print some flyers at least, and just have that project description available at minimum.
Yeah, and I mean, even if there is a representative who isn't able to answer all the questions, I think it would still be prudent to have, a representative from the city there, to sort of talk about and advocate for the community plan, and at least point people towards, the public comment webpage, other resources where they can find out more information.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, Alex.
All right, thank you, Alex, and thank you, subcommittee. We will work on some words before the next meeting. So, Alex, after are you still here? There you go.
I am, yes.
So, if this gets approved in December, are we going to see you anymore?
I will be. Yes. I think I'll still be the Mira Mesa planner, I believe. So I should be around.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Alex. You're welcome to sign off now, or you don't have to.
I usually stay to the end and listen.
New business. So there's I was asked to allow a presentation here from the Breaking Down Barriers program, and Sorry, I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, which. can you-
Yes, oh, no worry, Jeff. My name is Spachel, so like Michelle, but Spachel, so it's totally different, I know. But yes, thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I know Maria Elena was the one that originally reached out to you, but I am the program supervisor of this program, and I won't be before y'all long, but hopefully what I provide to you today is very informative and something you can take with you. If I could just get sharing capabilities, as I have just a few slides to show, and then
Yes, you should have it.
okay, got it. Perfect. Okay, can you all see my screen? We're good to
Yes.
go with the screen. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, this is my first time at your planning group meeting, and thank you all for just allowing me to speak. As I mentioned, my name is Michelle Rutledge, and I'm part of Breaking Down Barriers. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but we're under Jewish Family Service of San Diego. And today I'm going to be providing just a quick, very brief overview of the Mobile Crisis Response Team program. Usually this presentation in itself is about 15 slides and more thorough, but I was advised I may only have a few minutes or so to talk. So I will be giving you just what I think is the bulk of what I think will be very beneficial to you and whoever you work with. And so the Mobile Crisis Response Team is one of the newer programs from the County of San Diego to support individuals experiencing an alcohol, drug, or mental health related crisis. Breaking down barriers, of which we're tasked with educating the community about this program along with our subcontractors, is funded by the County of San Diego Behavioral Health Services through the Mental Health Services Act. And like I mentioned, it is a program of Jewish Family Service of which we serve people of all faiths, backgrounds, so they can build stable and secure lives for themselves and their families. And we do a lot of things when it comes to providing mental health education, self-care and community care practices, and even provide cultural humility trainings and so on and so forth. So very awesome. And just to give you a visual, this is my whole team, and each one of us, along with our subcontractors, just provide education, whether we're tabling or actually presenting in a platform such as this one, and we partner with many organizations throughout the county. And this is one of the ways we're partnering with the county. So the Mobile Crisis Response Team, so it is known for short as MCRT. It offers an alternative response option for San Diegans experiencing a mental health or substance use related crisis, in which instead of calling the police, this is an option to call instead, in which MCRT dispatches behavioral health experts to emergency calls instead of law enforcement, who are trained to respond and de-escalate behavioral health crises. So how do MCRTs get dispatched? As you can see from the diagram on the slide, generally the first action to occur is a call coming in from a community member. That community member then either calls the access and crisis line, which is directly, or they would perhaps be connected to emergency services, such as an access and crisis line dispatcher. And so I will be providing you with that number in case you haven't heard it a lot already, but at the end of this, from there, trained dispatchers assess the situation for risk and safety through a series of questions. That dispatcher then determines the appropriate response team to be dispatched, if the situation calls for it, of course. This may be MCRT or an alternative response team such as PERT, which I will be discussing the difference later because I often get asked that. So these clinical mobile crisis response teams are comprised of one peer support specialist, one licensed behavioral health clinician, and one case manager. They are a non-law enforcement team, and they do provide assessments, utilize crisis intervention and de-escalation techniques, and can connect individuals to appropriate behavioral health services and resources. They are not equipped or intended to respond to situations that involve any known threats of violence or medical emergencies, and that's simply because they don't have, the means to be able to de-escalate in that regard. So the difference between MCRT, PERT, and EMS is mainly with PERT, which stands for the psychiatric emergency response team. It encompasses law enforcement as well as a clinician and can usually respond to more escalated cases. EMS is, of course, for medical emergencies solely and can treat a person if need be there. And then there's MCRT, non-law enforcement team, clinicians, caseworkers, peer support specialists. Right. All right, and so to conclude, like I said, this presentation is usually way more thorough and answers a lot of questions, even the beginning of the MCRT program to now, and the different things and ways in which they've impacted the County of San Diego. It has been around since 2021 of January, and we have just been tasked with educating the community about it. So these are our partners, and then also, if you happen to have your phone, you can scan this QR code. But to make it even easier for you, I will also drop in the chat my direct contact information in case you decide maybe your organizations maybe desire to have a presentation of some sort, want to learn more about breaking down barriers and the ways we provide mental health education throughout the community, and for free, it does not cost. There's also, if you have any direct questions about MCRT, when to call, and so on, the email is right here as well. So again, thank you.
Crystal raised his hand. Joe, you have a question?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, years ago, we used to have a teen hotline for like teenage suicide stuff. Would you be access to that type of information also, where teenagers that are stressed out could call to get help?
Oh, yes. So we do have resource lists, especially when it comes to serving specific underserved groups and so on. And so what I will say is the Access and Crisis Line is also good for vetting individuals, especially teenagers in crisis, to the right different organizations or people. So let's say there is a teen that happens to be having a crisis, they want to run away from home, those types of things. That is one example of a way in which, if you call the Access and Crisis Line and tell them that, they may be able to actually have MCRT come out within an hour. Usually is the time frame, now that the services are available 24/7 and 7 days a week. So, but as far as any other types of services or links, Breaking Down Barriers does have a social media platform. So we have an Instagram, we have Facebook, and then we always do things such as lives, or we go live and talk about very mental health sensitive topics normally. And we have it also already posted on our platforms, which I find many young people and teenagers appreciate, and gotten good feedback as it pertains to that. And I like to say that we as a program are kind of like in the middle between, and, as advocates as well, it's for people to actually seek clinicians and actually seek help and actually go to therapy or seek counseling and so on. But and if you're not able to do that right away due to costs, or, there's a lot of wait times, as I'm sure many of you are aware of, we like to kind of be the preventative piece in which we're able to at least educate people on what they could do in the meantime to self-soothe and to, educate them on community care and who they could rely on and lean on in the instance they are depressed, anxiety ridden, having thoughts of suicidality, in which the number in San Diego County, if you have an area code, is 988, which I do discuss more thoroughly in this presentation, but 988 is the number if you happen to have a San Diego County area code. If you do not have a San Diego County area code, then you would be taken to a national hotline, so it won't just go dead, at least. And I will say that to end, I will say that that 98 number can also lead a person to potentially get MCRT dispatched. And I know that the actual teams and the county have been trying to make that a fluid process.
Thank you. Kent has a comment.
Yes.
Sorry, actually, I was going to ask about that because I had thought that there was an announcement recently of a short 3-digit code number for mental health crisis, and so 988 I think is the one for the suicide prevention side. Is 211 still being utilized from a county perspective to try to triage calls?
Yes, it is actually, and even now, since just because I know it's of interest to just talk about, let me just bring that up just fairly quickly, just to break it down for you, because those are great questions. And You know, obviously many of you have seen the new shortened number, and like I said, residents with the area code can access this number, but just so you know, the 988 call centers do offer 24/7 free and confidential support to people in a behavioral health crisis. And with that, 211, so the difference is the access and crisis line and in 988 provides support for people who are experiencing a mental health or substance use issue, which can include suicidal thoughts or feelings or experiencing types of mental health distress. And so 988 has allowed for easier access to the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline Network. So 911 is utilized for emergencies with a focus on dispatching the emergency medical services I mentioned, fire and police as needed. Then there's 211, like you mentioned, which provides non-emergency health and social assistance information and referrals. So for urgent distress, mental health feelings, conditions, any thoughts of suicide or just crises, the access and crisis line and 988 are the numbers in which how I remember access and crisis line is they're available 24 hours a day as well and 7 days a week. So it's 888 20 888 let me see. Yeah, so I had the spell down pat 888 and then it's 724, which stands for 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Then it's 724 again, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 0 days off. So 888 724 7240 is how you remember the access and crisis line. And then obviously we try to make it easier by bridging that connection with 988 as well.
Thank you. Are there other questions? I have one. Where's your funding come from? Are you a county resource or are you a nonprofit?
Yes, so we are funded by the county, and Jewish Family Services is the nonprofit of which partners with the county in this initiative.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, good. Sounds like a good program. Any
Thank
other
you so
questions?
much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Put my information in the chat.
All right, we'll go on to elected officials, government agencies. I saw Denise here.
It's already my turn. Hello.
Yes, we'll call it your turn. I didn't see anyone who's ahead of you, but
Okay,
I'll
no
inquire after.
problem. Good evening, everyone. A few things. So there was a traffic service request update it was a proposed stop sign on Scorpius Way and Torres Place, and the city engineer evaluated the area and the intersection met the criteria to install a stop sign along Scorpius Way facing the northbound traffic. And if anybody have any comments or concerns, you can email me within the next 30 days. That was starting from September 12th. So the next 30 days from September 12th. And if there are no comments, the city crew will proceed with the installation of the said stop sign along Scorpius Way. And if you have any other service traffic requests that you would like to submit, you can do this online. I will include the link on my report that I will send after the meeting so that they're easy access. And then regarding trash and litter along the Kearney Villa Road and Miramar Road, the city's contractor will abate the subject areas this week actually, and some of them are already partly done, like the weed abatement, but there's still some other things that the scope includes, like the clearing of the shoulders, the medians, ramps, and the litter pickup associated with the vegetation abatement along Miramar Road and Kearney Villa Road. The limits of the abatement will encompass the Kearney Villa Road from Miramar Road to Highway 52 and Miramar Road from Highway 805 to Highway 15. Next, budget priorities are coming up. Councilmember Kate and the office are reviewing the budget memo priorities for District 6. So if you have any additional requests that you would like to be added on the memo, please send me an email on what the add or request is. And we also sent out a community survey. There's been a lot of people who already answered the survey, but I will also include that link to the survey on my report so that everybody can also see it when it gets posted. And I'll also provide the link for the PDF that which is the budget memo that we submitted in the past few months. So you can kind of like look at it and compare if there's anything that you wanted added on it. And then Councilmember Kate's final State of the District event will take place on Tuesday, October 4th. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. and the program begins at 6 p.m. Light refreshments will be served. It's going to be located at 858 at 3760 Glen H. Curtis Road at San Diego, California. And then please, you can RSVP from September 26th, Monday, and you can reserve your seat at the Eventbrite link that I will also provide. And recently, our office has been receiving a lot of water utility issues in the past couple of months. So if you are experiencing long hold times or phone line hanging up after a long wait when you call the PUD customer service due to a water utility issue, please feel free to email me the information like the account number if it's available, the account holder's complete name, address, location of the issue, contact number, email address, and issue or concern that you would like service for. Some of these examples are the start or shut off service of water and possible misreading of water meter that has been occurring all over San Diego. I attended a captain advisory board recently, and they just a little bit of update that the Northeastern Division are still experiencing staffing issues, which affects the whole of San Diego. So officers' response time are affected. And second is the catalytic converters are still a hot commodity among theft. So please protect your cars if you have those in your car. And also the Northeastern Division are accepting donations for Christmas decoration, mainly the Christmas lights. They plan to do a holiday station decorating for their outdoor section of the station. And I believe that's it from me, from the City Council.
Denise, can I ask you to email that report to me
Oh, yeah.
so that I'll incorporate it?
I usually email it to Jeff and Pam. Do you want, I don't know your email. If you want to put it in the chat, I can send it to you too.
I'll send it to you just to incorporate the right components in the minutes. I tried
Sounds
to
good.
capture as much as I can.
No worries. I'll send it.
Okay, so Michaela from the mayor's office sent a report. Kent, do you want to relay anything in that report, or do you want to just include it in the minutes?
I don't have it right in front of me, Jeff, so I can make sure to include it in the minutes. I believe we've attached the full report in the past.
Yeah. So we'll do that. It basically was just the mayor's newsletter that she wanted to send out. Kristen from Miramar, do you want to make yourself visible? There you are.
There. Yeah, first I want to thank Denise for her help in getting Miramar Road and Kearneyville Road cleaned up before the air show. That was a big help, and as you all know, very badly needed. I do need to work with the city staff on a long-term solution for Miramar Road as far as maintaining it. There's kind of there's an interpretation of the state law within the transportation code that says that essentially the city is translating to mean that the base is responsible for maintaining that public right-of-way sidewalk area next to our fence line. Speaking with our legal counsel, that is not the case. It should be the city's responsibility. And that has to do with the federal government having sovereign immunity and the local and state governments not having the ability to lever requirements upon the federal government. Most of Miramar Road is also on federal property. And so when that easement was granted to the city for that right of way, that would have been one of the conditions, was that the city was to maintain that. So I just want to bring that up because I know that that's been to put it bluntly, an eyesore. And we send Marines out there to go clean up the trash and cut the weeds every so often when we can. But at the end of the day, it is the city's responsibility. So I just wanted to make you aware. But thank you, Denise, again, for all your help. And thank you to Michaela in the mayor's office too, as well. So yes, air show this weekend. The theme is Marines Fight, Evolve, Win. So this is sort of centered around some of our innovative concepts that we've been working on at Miramar. It also sort of aligns with the Commandant's Force Design 2030 plan that some of you may have heard about, which is sort of changing some of the way that the Marine Corps does some things. And so that is the theme. You'll probably see Colonel Bedell on some of the news, have probably already seen him on some of the news stations going around talking about the air show and the theme. Blue Angels will be flying in Wednesday, and they'll be practicing Thursday. So everybody tends to forget about the Thursday practice day before the air show. So I figured I'd go ahead and mention it again. So, and that's all I have, unless anybody has any questions for me.
So we'll start hearing the Blue Angels on Thursday.
You will.
Good. Always like hearing them. Any other questions?
I agree. Love hearing them.
Are there any other elected officials representatives that I missed? I didn't see anyone here that I know, but sometimes they send other people. All right, in that case, we'll go on to announcements. Let's see, Pam, you had one?
Yes, I have an announcement on behalf of Mira Mesa Town Council. We now have a location as well as a date for the Volunteer of the Year dinner honoring Jennifer Qualvik as 2019 Volunteer of the Year. She was selected in December 2019 by vote of the Mira Mesa Town Council membership, and we were going to be doing the awards dinner, which also is an opportunity to raise money for the scholarship fund. And of course, things came to a crashing halt. We have not selected a new Volunteer of the Year since then. That's why the year of selection is a bit behind the times, but the location will be Casa Machado Restaurant on top of the building at Montgomery Field in Kearney Mesa. Wonderful Mexican restaurant. Jennifer's favorite food is Mexican food. And Casa Machado used to have a Mira Mesa location. Those of us who are old timers here remember in the 1980s, it was in that shopping center between Greenford and Rickard, I believe. And that location no longer is there, but the airport location is wonderful. Evening of Saturday, October 22nd, the announcement on the Mira Mesa Town Council website will add that location, and we'll have details for how people can sign up for it available soon. So mark your calendars, save the date.
Thank you, Pam. Any other announcements?
Yeah, I have one, Jeff. The street fair on October 1st.
Absolutely. Okay, reports. CPC did not meet this month.
Hey,
Pam,
Jeff, does the street fair still need any other assistance?
I'm sorry, oh,
Donna.
oh,
Donna, yes.
sure, we can always use more assistance.
Yes. Get in touch.
Okay.
Well.
All right, Pam, Penasquitos Canyon.
Penasquitos Canyon, I did not attend the last official meeting, which was the one in, when was it? July, because our September meeting we had just a couple days ago, but we didn't have a quorum. So unofficial, we had an unofficial information exchange. My alternate, Craig Radke, was at the July meeting. Is Craig on the call tonight or not?
I don't see him here now.
Okay, so we can get caught up. One piece of intel, though, from the unofficial meeting, information sharing, is that the ranch house in Penasquitos Canyon is going on celebrating its bicentennial coming up next year. I'm either 1823, 1824. I'm not sure when it was actually first completed, that first building, but the county is involved in planning a bicentennial celebration that is tentatively set for February 11th of this coming year. So watch for more information of that. That's a historic building and should be fun to celebrate.
All right, I've reached the end of the agenda. Does anyone have any other business tonight?
Jeff, I heard that during the street fair that Vulcan was going to be playing rock music. Is that true?
We've been trying to get them back to do their rock painting thing. The kids love that, but they haven't done that for us for a couple of years. So they used to bring out rocks. They have lots of rocks and let the kids paint them. And
I
remember that, Jeff.
When we
I was
stop
gonna
taking
say-
booster shots, we'll be out there.
I think the employee that used to do that isn't there anymore, but we'll pass it along to the new one. Sure.
Good.
This year, but in the future.
That would be great.
I still have some of those rocks in my yard, by my front door. Yeah.
I do too, actually. I have some in my front.
all right. Hearing nothing else, we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
So long.
Thank you.
Go first.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.